Hello everybody, Gabriella from Tarot Wonderland here. Thank you very much for joining me for your weekly reading. This reading is for the week of November 14th to the 20th, 2016. And this week I will be using the Osho Zen Tarot. It's a gorgeous deck. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that in the new year, I'm going to be raising my fees on my readings. So now would be a really great time to order one if you want to get the lower price. It's not going to be going up that much, but I am going to raise my fees a little bit in the new year. So if you want to get in on that, you can contact me at my website, which is tarotwonderland.com. And you can also contact me here on YouTube. You can contact me on my Facebook page. I will put the links for all of those in the description box below. So without further ado, let us get on with your reading. So the three cards I drew for us this week are the Eight of Clouds. This would be swords in the traditional Rider-Waite. They are called clouds in this deck, which I think is great, just beautiful. That is in reverse. Our second card is going with the flow. This is the Ace of Water or the Ace of Cups in reverse. And finally, we have the Nine of Clouds, or Nine of Swords, and this is called Sorrow in this deck. So let's go through the cards one by one, and then I will put them all together for you. So our first card is the Eight of Clouds, or Eight of Swords, and it is called Guilt in this deck. It came up reversed, but I am showing you the card in the upright. Look at the illustrations on these cards. Aren't they just amazing? I mean, this is such a great depiction of the Eight of Swords. I don't know if you can make it out or not, but those things that are on top of her head, those are claws. Those are long claws or talons that are just kind of gnawing at her skull. And as you can see, she is in great distress. She is screaming. She is in great mental distress, turmoil. Now, the good thing is this card is reversed. So what this card depicts is mental anguish. And it's not really shown here in this deck, but the Eight of Swords often refers to a mental trap of your own making. It's like whatever is going on inside your head that is worrying you, that is stressing you out. It's really more your own attitude towards it that is making you feel that way. The situation isn't really as bad as you think it is, or as limiting as you think it is. And you can easily free yourself from this if you just look at things in a certain way, or if you take certain actions. But when the card is in the upright position, you're choosing to stay stuck there. You are stuck in this feeling of just not feeling good. Now, as I said, the good thing is the card is in the reverse, and it's called Guilt in this deck, which is very interesting. Some of us may have been feeling guilty about a certain situation, and that could be what is gnawing at you, what is tormenting you, like this woman in this card. Maybe you're feeling bad about something. Maybe you had an argument with somebody or did something that you weren't particularly proud of. And that is what is bothering you, and that is what is staying stuck in your mind. However, with the card in the reverse, this is saying that that energy is leaving you. So this is a good thing. So if you've been feeling really hard on yourself, I think if you've been really judging yourself and thinking negatively about yourself, I think you either have turned that around or you are going to turn it around. And that is a good thing. You never want to beat yourself up for things you've said or things you've done. If you really genuinely feel bad about something and really feel the way you did was wrong, there's a simple way to fix that, and that is to apologize to whoever you said whatever you said to, or whatever action you took that may have harmed someone or affected, excuse me, or affected someone negatively. Apologize for it. Come clean, and you'll feel so much better. So that could actually be what this card is saying for us this week. Absolve yourself of this guilt. If you're feeling really bad about something, then just make amends for it. Own up to it. Be honest with whoever is involved here. Be honest with yourself. Maybe you've been tormenting yourself, judging yourself. Be easier on yourself. Let it go. Don't keep yourself stuck in this mental prison, okay? Because that is not good for anybody. And I take back what I said earlier about how the ability to free yourself is not really depicted here. I don't know what I was thinking. There are a bunch of flowers right above her, right? There's those gloomy, dark, puffy clouds that, look like a huge storm is just over her. And above that, we have these beautiful, delicate little flowers, which are representing that you can easily get to that place rather than being stuck in this stormy, cloudy, really gloomy place. You have these beautiful, light, delicate flowers that represent peace and serenity and happiness and just a lightness, right? So it's telling you you can easily find yourself there, but you need to free yourself from this mental state that you're in. And like I said, with the card in the reverse, that's suggesting to me that we are going to get out of that energy. It could also be that somebody else will apologize to you. Maybe somebody who did something really wrong to you is going to apologize. You're going to get your apology from that person this week, and they're going to absolve themselves of whatever they've done. Our second card is the Ace of Water, going with the flow. And this also came up in the reverse, but I'm showing you the card in the upright. This is so beautiful. I mean, look at this. This figure is just lying in the water, literally going with the flow. They're surrounded by this beautiful, luminous, light blue energy that's just waving and rippling around them, and they are just floating along and in total comfort and in total peace. Okay? Now, this card was in the reverse, so it is suggesting the opposite, and I think it's relating back. Well, we got two swords cards in our reading here. There's a lot of mental stress going on for some of us this week. And I think this card is telling you that you have the ability to be at peace. Again, you have the ability to be in this serene, flowy, easygoing, calm state, but you're not. Okay? So I think, again, this card is telling you that this is possible for you. It is possible for you to feel this way, as long as you deal in a healthy way with whatever is going on in your mind, in your mental state. Aces are also about new beginnings. So this card could also represent that you could turn over a new leaf. You could make a whole new start. You can start a whole new cycle of feeling good, as long as you deal with whatever this is that is going on that is blocking this energy for you. This kind of ease and this kind of peace and this kind of contentment is possible for you if you deal with this mental situation that is going on. Our third card is the Nine of Clouds, or Nine of Swords. It was our only upright card, and it is called Sorrow in this deck, which is so perfect. As you can see, this monk is sitting by himself in this room, and he is looking very, very sad, very, very much in despair, just almost in tears. He's sitting there by himself. He's wrapped up in his robe, and he just looks like he is completely overwrought and mentally incapacitated. And that's what this card is about. It's about feeling so much worry, so much stress, so many things piling up on top of each other that overwhelm you. The panels behind him, the two panels behind him, have all those different layers, and it's like they're stacked up, right? It's like your worries, your stresses are all stacked up. They're all piled up on you, and you're just completely overwhelmed and overwrought. And this is not a good place to be. Remember that Ace of Water card is in our reading in the reverse. So it is possible to get out of this energy as long as you approach it in a healthy way. Okay, so let's get to the summation of the reading here. There's a lot of heavy energy here. And I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to get political, but this is screaming at me. This reading is screaming at me. For my American viewers, okay, I know that people watch me from all over the world, but I'm speaking just to my American viewers here. What this reading is just screaming at me is that maybe reflecting the way a lot of you feel about the election, the way that it turned out, who won the election, right? I know a lot of people are very, very upset. A lot of people are in despair. A lot of people are just feeling like their world has ended with the results of the election, right? And that is all, it's all weighing on you. It's all making you feel like, I can never accept this. I can never feel good about this. This sucks, but we do have that Ace of Water in the middle that's in the reverse. It's being blocked because of our mental attitude, right? So what I'm going to say to you guys, to those of you who are very, very unhappy with the results of the election, and I know that there are many of you, you have to accept the result. There's no choice but to accept the result, so you might as well, right? And then when you do, you're going to be able to turn that feeling around. You're going to be able to turn that feeling of helplessness and loss and despair around. A lot of us do not like the way that the election turned out, and it affected so many people, not only Americans, people all around the world, right? But the fact is that the person who won the election won, and is going to go ahead and take over that position in January. And I think it's January. Is it February? I'm not sure. But anyway, in a couple of months. And I'm a Canadian, by the way. So the healthiest way to go about it is just to accept the result and don't stress about it. Don't stress about it. Just accept it, move on with it, resolve to think positively and do what you can to be a positive force in the world. And it's going to make you feel so much better. You know, I know a lot of people feel very, very powerless and helpless right now. And that's an awful way to feel. But you are in control of your emotions. You are in control of the way that you react to a situation. If you approach it positively, it's going to make you feel so much better and it's so much healthier. So I just wanted to say that because that's immediately what struck me when I saw these three cards. Yeah, I know this is the way a lot of people are feeling right now, and I'm getting the sense that this is what these cards are reflecting for a lot of you. Another thing I also want to say before I move on is that the illustration of the absolute unhealthiest, most counterproductive way to deal with the situation is what I've been seeing about the rioting that's been going on after the election. I mean, that is the perfect example of what not to do, of how not to act in reaction to this. I mean, what is the point of that? What is the point of being destructive and negative and violent in reaction to this? There is absolutely no point whatsoever. It's only going to make things worse, right? And I cannot understand, just from a personal point of view, how people can act like that, act like such children, and just have a temper tantrum and react like that and just go off and just be totally, totally destructive and negative about this result. I mean, that's an example of what not to do. Okay, you want to go in the opposite direction, be positive, think positive, move forward. Okay, so I'm going to get off my soapbox now and enough with the politics and get back to another interpretation of this reading. If this is not election related, if these cards are not reflecting your reaction to the election, this is something that is going on with a particular situation, with a particular person. The good thing is that Eight of Swords card is in the reverse. So that card is showing that energy is leaving you, that beating yourself up, that judging yourself, that really feeling bad about yourself, that is leaving this week. So like I said, you can if you've done something to hurt somebody or to hurt yourself, something that you know is not healthy, just deal with it in a healthy way, and that energy will leave you. And that going with the flow, that Ace of Water is also going to turn around, and you're going to be able to start over and feel better and start anew, you know. That Nine of Swords card is in the upright position, so it's indicating some sadness, some worry, some stress, insomnia, sleepless nights. We all have been in a place where we feel just really bad. Something has happened, or we're just thinking about something that seems insurmountable, and it weighs down on us, and it makes us feel powerless and helpless and sad and grief-stricken. And the only way to get out of that energy is to just let it go. Let it go as much as possible. Think about things in a positive light. Focus on the positive. Focus on what you can do to change things to be positive. If somebody has hurt you to make you feel this way, forgive them, let it go. Forgiving doesn't mean absolving them and saying and agreeing with what they did to you was right or anything like that. It's just letting it go. Because we all do things that we're sorry for. We all do things that we regret. And you never know where that person was coming from, that person who hurt you. You don't know what was going on with them to lash out at you and maybe make you feel bad about things. Or maybe there's been, financial stress that is worrying you and stressing you out, and you don't feel like you can see a way out. There is always a way out. There's always a way out. And you just need to stop dwelling on the negative and focusing on that and concentrating on that healing energy. Look at this card in the middle, that going with the flow card. And I'm going to put up the upright image of the card here. This is the space that we need to be in this week. This is where we want to be. We want to be relaxed, easy, accepting, just going with the flow, knowing that everything is going to be okay, knowing that everything is going to turn out all right, no matter what. Yes, there are stresses. Yes, there are bumps and glitches and things in life that we don't like, that upset us, and that we don't think is, that we don't agree with, that we don't think is right. And it can make us crazy. It can put us in that mental prison, and it can make us feel like we are completely helpless and powerless. But as long as we just let it go, we can feel this way. This is the way that we need to feel this week. This is the healing energy that we need this week. This is the new start that we need. This is what we need to focus on. So I'm going to end with this card and take a good and long look at it. Look at this figure in the water that is just relaxed and lying back and just going with it. Easy, relaxed, calm, serene. This is the way you want to feel this week, and do whatever you can to ease that burden that you may be feeling, and just let it go and just accept. Okay, guys, I hope you found this helpful and insightful. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you'd like a personal reading at my current price, please hit me up at any of the links below. And I thank you so much for watching. Wishing you guys a wonderful, peaceful, calm, and accepting week. Bye, guys.